Okay, I think we can go.
You keep forgetting not putting weight on the broken hand.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's getting better. Good. All right, you're gonna need 2 blocks, a blanket, a belt, maybe a bolster or a cushion if you don't have the bolster at home, but now you will. All right, shake the legs a little bit, just see how your body feels, how open or how stuck you feel around the midsection. Is it mobile? Is it like I'm a little bit stuck with everything? And then cross your legs, any position you like it, any legs closer to the other one. If the hip flexors and the hips feels tight, support the legs. If they still feel tight, grab a blanket and sit up on a blanket so your pelvis can tilt forward. It's up to you. Put your hands on the top of the knees, level the chin with the floor, and close your eyes. Forget everything and just scan your body. See, well, not see, feel where your body weight is. First of all, do you sit on the top of your sit bones? Try not to adjust it. This is just I'm doing a checkpoint, checking out things. Am I sitting on the top of the sit bones? Am I sitting in front of the sit bones, leaning forward? Am I sitting behind the sit bones, leaning backwards? And then once you figured out where you are, just check from left to right. Is my right booty heavier? Am I grounding more on the right sit bone than the left? Then notice your torso, your spine, and your rib cage. Does it feel I'm leaning a little bit to the right or to the left? Which side of the waistline feels shorter? Then pop up to your shoulders and notice first which shoulder blade in the back feels higher, which armpit feels more open. What is the distance between your ears and your shoulders? And then where my neck and head is my head forward? Is my throat in front of my sit bone? Is my throat behind my sit bone? Is one of the side of the neck shorter than the other one? Once you did all of those, blink your eyes open. Then find your collarbones and the breastbone. And bring your left hand on the top of the collarbone and the left bone where they meet. A right hand comes on the top. Push the skin down. You should feel a stretch. If you feel a little sweaty, just grab your towel and bring it down. Or your shirt. Slowly lift your chin up. All the way up. And then lift your chest up, your pelvis forward. You could close your eyes if you feel dizzy. You should feel a stretch on both sides of the neck. Then move your lower jaw lightly from side to side. Do not hurry. Feel the stretch on the neck muscles 3 times. Bring the jaw back to the center, lengthen through the back of the neck and the crown of the head, and release the tension. Take the left arm across to the right collarbone, slide the skin down under the bone, feel the muscles moving down, anchor with the other hand, and lift the chest up, lift the chin straight up first. You should feel a stretch on the right side, and guide the chin up left. Move the skin down towards your right hip, while the chin is going up. Look up. If it makes you dizzy, close your eyes, jaw movement side to side. If you want to facilitate the jaw movement, then move the jaw to the left, you look left. Move the jaw to the right, you look right. If you want to make it harder, you take the eyes to the opposite direction than your jaw moves. And slowly come back to the center, lengthen the back of the neck. And then take your right hand onto the left collarbone, pull the skin down. Anchor, chin straight up, lift the chest up a little bit. You already should feel a stretch. Chin upright, skin down to the left hip bone, chin up, right, jaw. Come through the center, re-lengthen the back of the neck. Take a breath in, let the shoulders fall. Which should feel that the whole area around the neck just open. Cross your legs the other way. Again, you don't need to put the shins on the top of the shin, not just yet. Just kind of comfortable. Find your rib cage. Keeping the pelvis forward, lift the rib cage up, look up, pull the shoulders away from your ears, and then push the breastbone into the rib cage, tip the pelvis back a little bit, tucking the chin. Again, the movement initiates from the rib cage, so the pelvis come on forward, inhale, look up, pelvis tips forward, low back arches. Exhale, breastbone sinks in. Try not to move the shoulders yet. Sink the breastbone into the rib cage, almost pushing it directly through your shoulder blades. One more time. Inhale, look up. Up, 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 up. Inhale. Exhale, sink in. Push that breastbone in. Let the shoulders come up. So the shoulders will move, but the rib cage is the primary mover. Come up to a straight spine. Take the arms out to the side and take your rib cage to the right. Press the left sit bone down. Take the rib cage to the left and press the right sit bone down. Come back to the center. Take the pelvis just a tiny bit forward, just a tiny bit, then take your rib cage to the right again. Left sit bone stays grounded through the center to the other side. And back to the center. Now tip the pelvis back a little bit. If your shoulders are bugging you, you can always just move the rib cage or you can hit the elbows back. Tip the pelvis back, rib cage to the right, left sit bone grounds, rib cage to the left, right sit bone grounds. And if you scoop the belly button in, you actually feel what you are stretching. Alex knows what I do. We can connect these four spots. So we're going to do a rib cage circle. Chest up, to the right, back, to the left. So think about that. We have a hula hoop ring around your rib cage. And while you're grounded through both sit bones and keeping the chest forward like the headlights of the car, you're doing this circle outside of your pelvis. Once you did 3, change the directions. You could do one circle with one breath, or you could actually take 2 breaths for each circle. Just don't hold the breath. Feel the muscles, the intercostals stretching between the ribs. That's going to give you a lot of freedom for taking more efficient breath through the whole session. Notice which part of the circle feels smooth and which part feels that the body just wants to go in a straight line instead of doing a circle. And then just relax. Straighten the legs and drop your back. You're going to hook up the feet. If you were sitting on a blanket, scooting off. Flex your feet. Bring both toes towards your nose. And tell your pinky toes to spread towards the outer hips. Once are straight, inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward and move your hands down on the back. Pull the shoulders away from each other, lift the breastbone up. You should feel it stretching the hamstrings. Keep pulling the shoulders, keep pulling the toes towards your nose. Hang on to the belt, keep the knees stiff. The right heel pushes forward, left hip pulls back. Feel the movement in your sacrum. So although you see in the legs moving, the movement is initiating from the sacrum in the joint. Switch side. Just glide in. One heel forward, the opposite hip pushes back. Keep the belt tight. One more time. The right heel forward, left hip back. Now stay there for a second. Notice where the weight shifted. Did it shift all the way to the left? So bring some weight back onto the right body. And then switch side, left heel forward, right heel back. Same thing. Equalize the weight on your sit bones without squeezing the buttocks. So you have to tip the pelvis if you feel that the weight is on. Then level the feet, level the hips, and keep hinging forward. You should have gained a lot of length with that. Now pull the shoulders up, reach the chin forward and round over. If you can catch your feet, do that. If not, hang on to the belt. Release the head completely. Let the shoulders pull up to your ears and tip the pelvis back. The more you pull the shoulders up to your ears and the more you tip the pelvis back, the more fascial stretch you get through the entire spine. Breathing there. Tucking the chin, make sure that the toes are pulling towards your shoulders. Move your chin, move your head from side to side. Turn your head from side to side if you are saying no. Try to keep the chin really close to the throat. Slowly moving the head. Breath is at your own rhythm. If you could, please breathe through the nose. Come to the center. Notice that your forward fold could go deeper, even just by doing the neck movement. Remember, the fascia goes to the entire body. Once you open up something, other things will open. Then nod with your head if you are saying yes. Now, nod all the way in, so it almost feels like you're doing triple chin. Feel how that stretches, and once you do 3, you can bring the chest more closer, closer to the thighs. Release the head again, pull the shoulders up to your ears. Same thing with the C2ER joint. Push the right heel forward, pull the left hip back. Equalize the weight on the buttocks, find your right armpit, and reach it towards the left pinky toe. Look under the left armpit. Shift the weight equally on the buttocks. Breathe. Come through the center. While you're coming through the center, already reach the chest forward over the knees, switch the legs, left heel forward, the right hip back. Guide the left armpit towards the right pinky toe. Look a little bit to the right, let the body twist, shift the weight on both butt cheeks again. It's a constant shifting off and on. Always catch yourself when you change and put too much weight on one side. Come to the center, pulling yourself forward. Notice how much more length you have. One more time. Right heel forward, left hip back. Guide the right armpit to the left pinky toe. Look under the left arm. Remember the thoracic ribcage circles. So in this position, 3 ribcage circles in both directions. Don't worry about what it looks like. Just feel. Open up the ribcage in a different plane, in a diagonal plane. Different intercostal muscles will open up. Different fascial line in the back will open up. Once you did the 3 circles, keep pulling that left hip back and push the right heel forward, and notice how much more movement you gain in there, how much more length. Weight is on both butt cheeks. Find the tightest spot of the left side and take 3 breaths in there. If you happen to pull out the head, let the head hang over. It's very hard for all of us to constantly control the head and the neck. At least for me. The letting go part is not as easy as you would like. Then while you're leveling the feet and the hips, keep pulling yourself forward. Left heel forward, right hip back. Let the left armpit guide towards the right pinky toe, body turns to the right. Now find your ribcage again. Give me 3 circles. Do not hurry and try to make that circle a little bigger. Be curious. Do I have a little more range of motion in any of these directions? Any of this part of the circle, I can make it bigger. And it is not a circle, it is a rectangle. Then once you get the 3 in both directions, pull that right hip back and push the left leg forward. Notice the opening. Tucking the chin, level the weight on your sit bones, and breathe into the right side, wherever is the tightest. It might be a different spot. It usually is. Soften with each exhale. Full surrender. What can I let go? And come all the way to the center, pulling the chest forward. Release the feet over the belt. Bend the elbows, slide them towards your hips. Release the chin into the chest again. Let the head be completely heavy and pull the upper body forward to the forehead. Find the floating ribs in the back and tip them up towards the ceiling. That should give you a little extra stretch. Then the diaphragm, the middle back, you never really stretch that area. This is where your kidneys and your renal comes out. With a little bit of stretch and breath, you can release some more space for that. And then keeping the chin tucked in, tip the pelvis back, stop lengthening the lumbar spine, keep the chin tucked in, knee back, stop the vertebrae on the top of each other with a lot of space between them. Upper back, shoulder comes up, the chin is still tucked in. I'm pulling the shoulders up, re-lengthening the cervical spine, lengthen through the crown of the head, and while you're lengthening through the crown of the head, drop the shoulders. All right. Here we go. Let's do a little zigzag sequence, all right, Alex? Right leg is going to come to the front, and your right shin is going to be parallel to the front. Left leg is going to come behind you, and you're going to try to keep that left leg as far back as you can. Now, in an ideal world, I would be able to, ideal world meaning if I have the hips open equally, I will be able to stay upright without leaning forward. We're going to fix that in a second. Right heel is not in the groins. Right shin is parallel to the floor. Left thigh is as far back. First, just leave it right. Can you make it parallel to the front of the neck? But the shin, the left shin is parallel to the side of the neck. So we need to bend the knee to a 90-degree angle. Yeah. And make sure that the shin, look at your left shin, make it parallel to the left side of the neck. Yeah. Now, if the hips are tight, look at the right leg needs external rotation. The left leg needs internal rotation. The whole reason we moved the sacrum before, that now we can actually do separate things with the hips. I know I can go forward, but if you really lean in sideways, this would be a really nice way to level the hips. It's up to you. If you feel any discomfort in the knees, this is not a good way to go. Pop up the hips. Grab a couple of props to the front. Find your pelvis and tip the pelvis back and forth. If you were, pelvis is a bucket of water, you tip the pelvis forward, spill the water forward. You tip the pelvis back, the bucket back, you spilling the water back. Yes. Try not to use the glutes as a movement. Try to just tip the bone of the pelvis. Once you did a few dips, tip forward again, and decide how low you could come down or how high. Now we're going to be doing some stuff in here, so make sure that you are at a good height, that you could stay and you could stay on it. First thing, let's find that left thigh, left knee, left thigh, and reach the left knee away from the left front hip. If someone was grabbing that left thigh and pulling it out, that should stretch the inner joints. Once you got that, find your rib cage again. Give me 3 rib cage circles. Find the bottom of the rib cage to the front and to the back. Think of floating ribs, and you're doing circles with the floating ribs. If you have been taking the class for a while and the circles are too easy, make it a figure 8, make it an infinity sign. Again, don't worry about what it looks like. It almost looks like a little worm crawling on the floor and doing all of these different things with their body. It's very important to keep the spine mobile. There are a lot of vertebrae, and they each need to move in all different directions on each other at any kind of hip and pelvis position too. Once you did the circles, you're going to feel that you open up the fascia and you could actually come and move. Let the head dangle again and turn your head from side to side if you were saying no. 3 times. And then see if you can move forward a little more. Unsqueeze the buttocks. And then now nod if you were saying yes. slowly. Be curious about how much more I can say, I can drop the chair, how much more I can lift the head. Once you do those, find your deepest forward fold. Before we settle in and surrender, scan your body. If any of your knees are saying no, even if there is the slightest discomfort in the knee, I need you to back off. Come up higher with the torso. Reset the foot, maybe. Find a way to take the pressure and the discomfort out of the knees. We don't want to put torque, there is already a lot of torque if the hips and the ankles are not open, but we don't want to put the meniscus and the inside structure in the knee in a held position that we are comfortable. So this is your decision. I'm kind of emphasizing enough to listen to your body. The next thing is find your buttocks and make sure that you're not squeezing your buttocks and you're not doing a kegel. Pelvic floor and glutes have to be relaxed. You could pull the shoulders up to your ears, that's fine. Check your jaw muscles, the muscles that you chew, and completely release those muscles. Check your eyelids, soft eyelids. And from here, nothing else. Let that flow and so. Notice if your tools are getting away from you. That's not even normal. We don't have a lot in our mind. Just be real. Bring them back. And if they don't want to stay, keep focusing on your breath. For breath, make sure that the body, the glutes, pelvic floor, jaw is not going back to shortening to those muscles. If you feel the need to move something, eyelids, jaw movement is always appreciated. Even with your eyes closed, roll your eyes around, so activate some of those muscles. Sometimes, in order to be able to release muscles and relax them, first we have to shorten them and activate. About 2 more. Soften the belly, soften the glutes. Next thing here, let's start preparing for the question. So maybe we put rocks on the support down, hands, and then slowly, keeping the legs where they are, just pull yourself up to sit. Stay there for a second. And then you're gonna lean. Actually, let's keep the legs stay here. Find your belly and turn it to the right. Find your lower chest, turn it to your right. Find your upper chest, turn it to the right, and bring your left hand over to your right. Support your weight on the hands. Notice Bring your attention to this left hip flexor, left knee area. What does that feel like? If you feel that it's going to snap, please don't. Let's bring the left knee a little further up. If not, stay and come down onto your forearms. You get as much bedding as you need to. You could also grab some blocks or bolster or a cushion to support you. Find yourself totally supported. Find the left inner thigh and internally rotate that left inner thigh. Once you do that consciously, the torso will turn towards the floor. Here goes your thoracic mobility again. If you work with the circles, find a figure eight or find an infinity sign or a triangle or any, actually try to find something more of a fluid movement. Just move that rib cage, move the lower spine, move the mid spine. Come to the area of the spine where your lumbar spine meets your thoracic spine. That is where your where your fluid legs are. This is where the back of your diaphragm, your breathing muscle, catches. So sometimes people complaining about back pain, if we could get them, just have the diaphragm consciously stretched out, they could actually create a little more space between those vertebrae. So any nerves coming out in the spine, they could not be compressed. Once you did the movement, your body just going to go and full surrender. If there is any injury on the right side of the hip and it doesn't feel good to stay on the hip itself, lift your knee up and maybe put a cushion or just shimmy the pelvis back a little bit, pivot away from that injury side, so you would not have the full body weight on the injured or decreased hip. Notice the tension in your jaw. Your knees. Okay. And then bring your attention to the belly. The belly is almost resting, kind of resting over the right thigh. Next inhale is going to inflate the belly a lot. It feels like it pushes against the thigh. Exhale, pull the belly button up, scoop it up, scoop it up, scoop it up. Notice how you engage your glutes where that goes. So the scoop has to be done without engaging the legs. Inhale again, inflate the belly. Let it flow out. I know we have this expectation that we will have to make that belly flow. We should be able to control good movement, expansion, and breathing. So everything we do is fine. After you did that breath work a few minutes, your upper body wants to go into it. Stay also as you can. Onto your left knee and left lower leg. Use your left knee as a forefoot. Internally rotate your left thigh, and that's going to break the left lower leg and the foot up. And then let the leg come back onto the floor. So although the foot and the lower leg is moving, the initiation of the movement is in the hip solid by an internal rotation of the feet. When so you can reach that left knee with the weight on the left leg. So you come up on your forearms, find that left leg again, and this time straighten. Reach back toward here. At the inner side of the left foot on the floor. Fully straighten the leg and keep pushing through the heel. When you reach through that heel, you should get a good stretch in the inner quads. Stay as long as you can. Start bringing the forearms towards your back. Just kind of walk over to the right knee. Go back to the center. Place that left foot again. Start reaching your left foot away from you while you pushing your upper body up with your hands. Flex the foot, flex the foot, flex the foot. Knee stay straight and rotate the leg out. Both sit bones on the floor. Siddhasana. Let the leg spread for a second. Then swipe this leg all the way around, bring it on the top of the other. Now, the shins are on the top of each other. If you need support, the heels are not in your buttocks. So if you look down, you actually see the triangle. That's way too easy. Take the legs wider. Take the heels further away. That's a different special defense. Okay. If you need support, make sure that you're supporting the legs. If you need support between the shin, make sure that you're supporting that. So the right leg is still doing that external rotation, what we did. The left leg went from the full internal to the full external. Right? Take the pelvis forward, bring the hands forward. Keep lifting the breastbone up and try to arch the low back. Yeah. And then move your fingers forward and forward. Now, you might need the support in there. There is no movement in here, is a 4-cylinder 5 or 6 breath cycle. Notice the weight on your seat bones. Some of us like to support the forehead, some of us like to have the head bent away. This is your body, this is your practice. You do what it feels right to you at this moment. There are days when support feels nice, and there are days when the support is just too much or it just doesn't feel right. We need to be able to be present enough so we can decide for that moment what is good. Notice what the left leg is telling you. The right leg is kind of hanging there for a long time in this external rotation, but the left leg has to change. Does that pose any threat around the left heel? Does your left buttocks try to get into a shortened position? Maybe hip flexors, maybe glute medius. Just check on that area and see how it feels. What does it tell you? Soften the pelvic floor muscle. Soften the diaphragm. Let the breath go where it wants to go without too much of the guidance. Next inhale is going to bring you. Lengthen the entire spine. And your throat directly over the sit bone. Sometimes a sigh is just a release. Let it go. And once you're ready, you just box away and straighten the legs so we can reset the knees, the back of the knees. Maybe give them a little tender loving care, just by rubbing them over the kneecap, under, telling the brain that, yeah, it's okay, you don't need to be afraid, all good. And we're going to do these poses on the other side. Drops to the front, the left leg comes across from the zigzag, and the right leg comes behind. Now, left heel is not into the goals. Is left shin is parallel to the front of the leg. The right leg will go as far back as I can. In an ideal world, again, this right arm will be parallel to the front of the leg and to the left shin. And look at the left heel. We're running out of space in here. We want to make sure that the right shin is parallel to the right side of the leg. Turn the pelvis forward. We're going to tip the pelvis back and forth. Now, obviously, this side feels, we can see it, it is tighter, so I'm leaning more forward. Do I consider to put something on under my buttocks? Put weight on my left hand to level the pelvis, or do I not? I know that after a few pelvic tilts, it's going to open up, so I am not going to use the blanket, but feel free if you have to. So tip back and forth. Notice if you're using your glutes to do that. So no butt squeeze. Think about the pelvis itself as a whole. Can I rock the pelvis to the front of the hip bone? Can I rock it back? Listen to your knees. And then once you did 3 or 4, come on forward on your cross. This might be a different height than you were on the other side. So don't hesitate to do the different height than you did on the other side. But first, find that the right knee and the right thigh and reach it away from the right pelvis. The heel is not moving, that is anchored. You're just going to get that stretch through your right inner joints. Then turn the belly, the chest towards the floor and find your rib cage. And here you go. You make up your own thoracic model. Do I want to stick with just flexion and extension of the thoracic spine, maybe side to side movement? Do I want to do my circles? Do I want to do my figure 8s? While you're thinking of the thoracic spine, think again, not the top of the spine, but more towards the floating ribs in the back. Can I move those floating ribs in different directions? Once you do your movement, release the thoracic spine, maybe a little more forward. If anything doesn't feel right, you need to come out and readjust. If anything shaking or nervy, you definitely need to readjust. If you don't have the head supported, it's nice to do a little bit of side-to-side movement if you were saying no, or nodding movement if you were saying yes. If your head is supported, you could still move the jaw or the eyes, or just very gently rolling on the forehead. This is a longer hold. Scan the body. Scan the glutes, pelvic floor, belly muscles. All soft. Shoulders could be pulled up to your ears. I know that sounds a little controversial, but whenever you pull the shoulders up to your ears, you actually lengthening this entire fascia on the back. And doesn't mean you have to walk around with the shoulders up to the ears, but sometimes it's just nice to get that heavy feeling and opening up all those layers of fascia. So the muscles underneath can stay long when you stretch them. The problem, for some of us, we don't stretch. Some of us, we do stretch some, but pretty quick, muscles, 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there. And those stretches are not held long. They don't give enough time for the fascia that surrounds the muscles to get long. And if that fascia doesn't give enough space to the muscles to get long and stay long, after you stretch the muscles, after we stretch the muscles for 10, 15 seconds, If there is no space, the muscle is going to bounce back to the short hand position. So when we work with people, and I work with people, and they stretching my hamstrings for 20 years and still not stretch, we need to show how we can maintain that achieved length. At the beginning of the session, we do the sleeping movement that helps a lot. So some of the pelvis partial mobility. Notice what your body is doing. Notice where your toes are. Notice where your weight is. Your breath here. For the torso over to the side. Fully release the pelvic muscles. Fully release the pelvic. Not everybody knows that the pelvic floor muscle and the roof are connected to the center of the head. So when we don't breathe well and we don't use the right one, subconsciously we actually tighten up the pelvic. When we constantly squeeze the butt and constantly tighten up the pelvic floor muscles, that goes up to that center of life and then tightens up the diaphragm. Which is going to sleep clear, and in return, that's going to go down to about stay low if you can, and put your upper body towards over to the left knee. If the right hip flexors are tight or the right interlateral tension is not there, scoot the right knee up a little bit so you don't pop the right hip out of the socket. That's no fun. Stay on the floor. And once you settle, let's see if we can move the thoracic spine. I do like to do figure eights in here. It just feels nice to do front and back glutes. Infinite side, which is long sided figure eight, is a good way to go. Small, wave like movement is a nice way to open up the entire spine. If you open up your vertebrae, pick up your necklace that is not a necklace, just a straight line. But every single curve should be able to roll and rotate in any direction. View and control. And that's how the vertebrae should be able to move. Of course, we have restrictions, nerves, ligaments, muscles, tendons. But we do want to have the most amount of mobility in the entire spine. Soften the jaw, soften the face. We are at the middle of the movement with the right leg. So the right knee is going to be off the movement. The right thigh has to internally rotate, and that is going to lift the right foot and the right lower leg off. Now notice, if that hip is tight, the leg wants to straighten and really lose the angle of the knee. So think that you're squeezing it in this body like that knee, while you're turning the right thigh inwards and lifting the right. And then once you did that, miraculously, you can turn the chest towards the floor, or you can lengthen to. If there is any injury on the left mounted hip, you might need to shake the hip a little bit to move the weight away from the exact injury side. Notice the difference between the two sides. The right foot is going to stay down slowly, push it into the right foot. Stay over the torso. You push into the right foot and see if you can drop your chest a little more towards the floor. When you belly, can you inflate the belly floor in here? Expand it. So pull the belly on the top. Scoop it up against your spine. Couple of more times. Stay low. Open the hands towards the center. And the upper arm towards the center. And then start externally rotating your right leg. The entire leg was 1 minute. Flex that ankle. And while you're pushing yourself up, you push into that heel and you're lengthening through the groin muscles. You get a great up to the internal stretch. If you really want to know some technicalities, sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. But I think that, and then swipe the leg around. See, the left leg staying where it was. It's going to stay in that external rotation, which is going to bring the right leg over. The foot is not crossing the ankle. The foot is not crossing the knee. So again, if you need support in here, take that. You still see that triangle in there. You're going to tip forward. I know I don't need the support once I tip forward. And this is a forward fold, getting the right leg into an external rotation. Support, maybe the forehead support. Feel that. If the forehead is supported, eye movement and jaw movement is an option. If the forehead is not supported, thoracic mobility, or just no mobility. Maybe you had enough of moving your thoracic spine. Although I don't think we could ever have enough of moving the thoracic spine. Check your glutes, check your sit bones. Where is the weight? I know it's probably shifted to one side. That counts because one leg is on the top, one leg is on the bottom. But what can you do? What can you shift to create the most amount of balance between those two areas? Can you soften the pelvic floor? Can you take the breath towards the back floating ribs? Where is your tongue? Where is your jaw? How soft are your eyelids? And your inhale. And start lifting. Go slow. Once the spine is straight and your throat is directly over the sit bones, over the tailbone, straighten the legs. Try not to slingshot those legs, although they feel that they've been there forever. Shake the legs a little bit. Maybe a little rubbing, tender rubbing here around the kneecap, on the side, in the back. Then lean back on your hands. Give me something for circles. Try to keep the legs stiff so there is no movement in the thighs or in the lower leg, just the flex out to the side. Find your widest V, even wider than you would like to make. And notice how the pelvis is tilted back. Now lift your hands off the floor and bring the legs closer so you could actually sit without any kind of support. Then, excuse me, bend the right leg, bring it to the center, and turn the foot up. Yeah. Find your left hand, your visual and my verbal. My visual and verbal is going to be looking a little different, but just go with the verbal. Palms up, externally rotate the arm, and find the left arm and take it under the left leg. Catch on the inside, yeah. And lean sideways, catch as close as you can. I can't do that with the broken hand, so I'm going to be on the top. Right hand is coming onto the right knee and push the right knee down and away. Think about the length, not straight down, out and down. And then take the right arm up and give me a full side bend to the right, to the left, to your left. Take your right arm, grab under your armpit, find the the shoulder blade, and turn it up to the ceiling. And then take the right arm up again and side bend. If you have any shoulder issues, bend the arm, rest the arm. If you have any neck issues, cradle the head. Make sure that the right sit bone stays on the feet. Now, of course, this one, having the hand on the top, is not giving me as much traction that I could have. Just not happening. Listen to your own joints. So we do have a couple of options here. Some people think the side bend more important. Some people like to catch the toes, which would still give you a lot of length. And that's your option. I would like you to think of the foot opener first, and then the side bend as far as you go. Again, this is your body, this is your choice. If turning the chest down feels better for you with the side bend, go with that. The breath should come. Can you find the space between the right top hip and the last rib on the right side? And take the breath in there. Keep the pelvis back just a tiny bit. And then start reaching the right arm up to the ceiling. That is going to lengthen the spine. Lengthen to the crown of the head if someone was pulling your ponytail up. And keep spiraling the torso to the right. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. Feel the pelvis forward, look up. And that is your twist. Breathe. Without looking, notice what your left foot, left ankle is doing. Can you flex the ankle and push through that left heel? Spread the toes and find the pinky toe, no looking, just feeling. Bring the left pinky toe to the outside of the left hip. And then rotate the torso back to the center. Straighten the right. Turn the sole of the foot up. So when we turn the sole of the foot up, almost like a book, we're actually stretching a lot of those underarm ligaments in the outside of the foot, which is good. Really good. If you misstep you're walking on the street and you misstep the sidewalk, and these ligaments are stretched out, you're not going to go your foot. You're just going to be able to unclog it. But there is enough length. Externally rotate the right arm, palm is up, keep holding your cup of coffee. You're coming from the inside, and you grab, slide down. Left arm is going to press away and down. That gives you a little side bend. And then first just notice, what would my side bend feel like? Okay, I got some kind of measuring there. And take the arm under, grab your right shoulder blade, and turn the chest up to the ceiling. Then take the left arm back up and side bend. Again, shoulder issues, I'm bending the elbow, resting my arm. Neck issues, I'm creating a cradle and supporting my neck. No issues, just losing the airport. Arm straight. Again, here are the options. What do I want out of this? Do I need more chest turn to the ceiling and the side bend? Does the chest turning towards the floor gives me more stretch? Where am I tight? You might have a different sensation from side to side. Just find that, hold up to it, and work with that. It doesn't matter if the chest is turned down or up. The breath is coming between the top of the hip bone and the rostrum. Think of an expansion in there. If the back is tighter, it's probably going to feel better to, no, I don't know, you figure it out. Find your left sit bone and put it back on the floor. Breathe. Maybe even lying body pose you need to change. Don't be afraid, just be curious. What if? How? Is it better? And guess what? If it's not, you can always back to where you were. One more full breath. Then activate this left arm and have it active and let it pull you up. Straight spine. Spiral into your twist. Right hand on the top of the left knee, left hand behind you. Hip pelvis forward, chest lifts. Breathe, unsqueeze the buttocks. Weight is on both booties. Both sit bones back. The throat is directly over the tailbone. We do have sometimes a tendency when we twist, leaning back or leaning forward. Like that. And then slowly bringing back, spiraling the entire back, the center, and straightening the legs. All right, so far so good. We're going to get on the belly and do some of those hip openers. A little more hip openers, if you will. We're not going to need any cross bodies, so we can take that out. Swing around and coming down onto the forearms. First, let's rest on the forehead. Let your spine and pelvis feel out when the audience speaks. Forehead onto the forearms, top of the feet on the floor. These are soft. Have the feet about hip width apart. Reach your right foot, slide the top of the right foot away from you while pulling the entire left leg into the hip socket. Does it remind you of something weird? And then switch. Left leg gets longer while the right leg gets pulled up into the hip socket. Do that 2 more times. Try to reach with the big toe when you pulling the leg away. Then let the finger pull up, let your thigh bone pull up into the hip socket when while you shorten the leg. So the circle is amazing because you can do circular leg joint exercise from supine, seated, standing, in side bend, in the water, in the air, while you're doing a headstand, while you're standing in the grocery line. It's an amazing way to go. Release the forehead, bend your knees pointed, those are right over the heel, and to be 3 windshield wipers. When you drop the legs to the right, let the left pelvis come off the floor, but not the left boobs. And then you drop the legs to the left, right pelvis could come off, but not the right boobs. Do that 2 more times. The toes are still pointed, again, like a ballerina or like a gymnast. The front of the ankle is open. Once you reach 3, flex the foot, pull the toes towards your knees, keep the knees back, push the heels, keep the ankle in that position, and you need 3 windshield wipers. Again, legs to the left, right hip comes off, but not right chest. That has to stay grounded. And the opposite is true on the other side. Notice the pelvic and the spiral rotation in the behind ankle and foot position. And then straighten the legs. Take a breath in here. Lift your head and come up onto your forearms. It's not a full back extension. Elbows under the shoulders and the upper back is relaxed. Tip your body to the left so you can slide the right leg out and bring the right knee towards your right elbow. Find that right knee and reach it away, right eye, reach it away from the right. Nice, turn the pelvis down. Breathe and unsqueeze the booty. Can you reach that right knee further away? Anchor the right foot, so the foot end here is not moving, just the knee. And then tip away, tip the slide it. Tip to the right, so you can unload the left hip. Slide it back, slide it, slide it, slide it, slide it. And then slide it away and turn the pelvis down. Think about the front of the pelvic floor, turning it down while I'm reaching that knee away. Breathe. Soften the face. Let's do that one more time. Tip to the left, unload the right, bring it up. Reach right knee away, turn the chest down. Option 1 is to stay in the hip. Option 2, taking the hands maybe a little further away and taking the elbows off the floor. Now, I will be doing a lopsided thing. If I do it, I can't put any weight on my left hand, so I'm not going to do it. But this is the idea. You can straighten both arms. I do not. Breathe. Unsqueeze the legs. And then both elbows come down. Look at the right leg. Keep the right knee as a fulcrum. Then point the toes on the right. And internally rotate the right thigh, lifting the foot. And we see on the right. Yep, there we go. Nice. Yeah. And then slowly slide. Stay there for a second. Kick to the right, unmove the left, let it go. First, just reach that knee and thigh out of the hip socket. Turn the chest forward. Let the left hip come down towards the front. It's your judgment. Am I staying in here or am I going to put weight on both hands or one hand and lift the torso? You don't have to. There is no have to in any of the classes. You figure it out. Good. Now, bend the knee. That is your fulcrum. Point the toes. Internal rotation of the thigh and then bring the toes and the foot off the floor. And if you never ever have done that, and it's not lifting, that's all right. Lift it. Re-lengthen the leg, and then slowly come back to the center. Back onto the forearms. Release the forehead. Deep breath. Can you soften a little bit? Now, slide the hands out to the side, take the forehead down to the floor. Bring the right arm under the right shoulder. From the left hand, come up on the fingertips, lift the elbow. Bend the right knee and turn your head to the Now start lifting the right knee, right thigh of the body. Press down through the right arm. Peel the right side of the body. Walk your left fingertips away from the left shoulder, so you open it up that shoulder. And place the left palm back down onto the floor and keep spiraling the right knee up to the ceiling. Breathe. Give me 3 circles in the here. feels like you're drawing circles with the knee, but the movement is actually coming from the hip socket. And see if you can reach your heel down to the floor, gently bringing up to the ceiling. Slowly roll onto the belly. Forehead is on the floor, legs are straight, arms out to the side. Keep it there. Bend the left arm, bring the arm under the shoulder. If you were doing one arm push-up, turn your head to the left, bend the left knee, then come up with the fingertips on the right. Lift your left knee, press through the left hand, and feel the left side of the body, twisting the lower body back to the right, while you walk in the right fingertips away from you, then right palm comes back on you. Keep the right knee bent. Right knee goes up to the ceiling, 3 circles. Notice the difference from side to side. And the right foot reaches towards the floor for a moment. Using the core, not flopping back onto the belly, keep the core control straight back onto the belly, arms out to the side, forehead on the floor. And then the elbows, bring the arms under the shoulders. Press your body up through all fours to your child's pose. If the shoulders are bothering you, child's pose with the arms by your side. If not, arms to the floor. Breathe breath in. If you need to shake the booty from side to side, please do. Gentle twist to the right by taking the left arm under the right armpit. Coming through the center, opposite twist. Coming through the center, 3 more breaths. Arms to the legs. Slowly pulling yourself up, swinging the legs out to the side, sitting on your booty, and start rubbing your toes. If you're in a bolster or a high cushion, I will bring that towards the front of your mat, and I will definitely grab a blanket for supporting. The lower leg is going to be on the bolster in a way that the heel is going to be hanging over. And then you just lie back down onto your back with the support under the head. Put your hands on the front of the hip bones and let the legs really, so the bolster is not under your knees, it's under the middle calf. This is going to unload the hips the best way it could be done. So hands over the top of the pelvis, and notice if there is a huge difference between the top hip bones. If there is, shake the booty from side to side, maybe just reach one leg longer than the other one, again, sacral movement that could realign. And then once you realign the body in a way that is pretty close to balance, bring the palms together and start rubbing your hands until you feel a little bit of heat in them. And then cover your eyes softly. Eyelids are soft, and I just covered my eyes softly. You feel that heat, you feel that warmth. You can see that if this feels good to you, keep the hands in there. If this doesn't feel good to you, bring the hands to the heart, with the pelvis or down by your side. Give a couple of breaths, the chance to still being controlled, meaning I'm going to figure out where to take the breath so I can relax more. And then after a couple of breaths, let go, completely surrender. It's up to you how long you're going to be staying here. If you have a lot of time, please stay. You have a chance to leave the mat, please do.